we're gonna look at passing the half guard, okay? We're gonna look at getting into the position of half guard, being in the position of half guard, and then little details on how to pass. So it's very important that we understand this, right? So let's start backwards. Let's start in the half guard, because I think sometimes flipping the position on its head, you get to kind of open up the position and go backwards, and then it layers you to help you learn it better. Does that make sense? So instead of starting from here, we're gonna start actually from the half guard, and then in the next position we'll look at starting from the position on standing to this position, okay? So this is assuming I was able to pass the knee shield and I was able to control the hips really well. I'm on my both knees, and we'll talk about some like preferences where we like to be at this point. I don't want a wide base, because if I have too much of a wide base, he has room to hip escape to close guard and he can underhook, see? So I actually want to pinch my knees this way. I want to prioritize crossface, and I want to prioritize underhook. I could do crossface without underhook, right? And I could do underhook without crossface. But when you have both, you have a really strong foundation, strong base, right? So for example, if I have a deep crossface here, and I'm able to leverage my hips up high and push into his neck, that's really good. If I have the underhook as well, it's even better. Let's say he has the underhook. Do y'all see that? Then I have to really focus on that position here. Okay, this hand I like to grab the pant. I don't like to grab the knee, and I'll explain why. Being a smaller guy, if I grab the knee here, he can actually use his right hand around my back and he could hook my wrist. And then this is a very frustrating position. So I don't grab the knee anymore. I grab the pant and I bring my elbow down. So now if he tries to do the same thing, I'm too far, okay? And I like to leverage my hip up high. The higher my hip goes, the more pressure my shoulder gives, right? And then I also like to walk my feet here. So now I'm gonna wedge my knee in between his hip and myself, and notice I fall on my foot, not on my hip. If I fall on my hip, he can actually sweep me. But because I fall on my foot, and I'll show it on that side so y'all could see, it's very tough. All my pressure is active toes. I can then get my leg out, right? And then I can do other positions. Notice it doesn't matter if he has the underhook, because as I pass, I keep the cross face. Bring my knee through like this. I could repummel, I don't have to. I can check the hip as well on this side or on that side, okay? Of course, it's ideal to keep this underhook. Let's say he's not letting me crossface. It's fine, I'll grab the sleeve. I'll do the same thing, I'll walk, repummel, look what my left hand does. And then I'll pick my hip up, bring my hand. If it's no-gi, I can connect my hands. Come here, start walking back. Okay, another thing you can do is if he beats me with that underhook, sorry, it's okay. I grab the pant, I do everything the same, and as I pass, he feels really strong like a wrestler. I collect that underhook and I start using it against him and start isolating the shoulder. Kimura, monoplata, omoplata, arm bar, okay? Which is why when I'm on the bottom, I never get a high grip like this. I usually work low from the hip down, okay? And there's a lot of things we can do. Oh, for you bigger guys, you like the sprawling technique? You can sprawl your leg out, do the same thing, right? Bring my leg out. I don't like that because I'm smaller. I like pinching my knees tight and wedging my knee through. Okay, I'll come on this side so y'all can see my legs. So when I try to pass, I don't fall on my hip, because that's when he can sweep me. So look what I do with pay attention to my right foot. As I crawl and walk and I bring my knee through, look where my foot is. So now if he tries to do the same, he can't push into me because of that right foot. Now I can close your legs. Now I can pull my leg out and then walk back. See how my hips never touch the ground? All that pressure is going forward, so I can't get reversed, swept. I'm distributing all my weight onto him. Right now I'm going easy so he can breathe, but in real time I'm pulling that cross face. So all those details are important in how you pass the half guard. Does that make sense? Any questions, guys? So I really want to focus on this position, Next, we'll look at how do we start from standing to get into this position. What happens if your opponent puts in the knee shield, and how do we deal with that? Okay, let's do it, guys. 1, 2, 3.